Welcome to the podcast, Aranyaka.
Thanks for having me.
How are you feeling in Delhi?
Delhi's always good. It's my hometown.
Aranyaka was an engineering undergrad.
Yeah.
Then why this whole creative field?
Technically, the first time I composed a song was when I was 4.
A lot of people do not know what an artist manager do. How do you explain?
I think I would call them the CEO of the artist business, which is that the artist has multiple facets to their career. You know, they've got the marketing aspect of their career, their own brand, they've obviously got the music. And you need to decide what is the best way to get their music to the right people.
Everybody knows like Aranyaka manages Raga. Okay.
Right.
When Raga came, the whole
सीगा कैंड्रिक लमार मुंह पे लड़ फेंके मार रागा मानसिक बुखार पसंद बंदिश नहीं यार घूमे भंड रिश्ते चार चुदे फक रिश्तेदार पिटे
people were cheering Raga. So how do you find these artists? Do you DM them or do you search on like Instagram Reels? Welcome to the podcast, Aranyaka.
Thanks for having me.
How are you feeling in Delhi?
Delhi's always good. It's my hometown. So
But I love Mumbai most.
I don't want to get into this conversation. Cut this part out, please.
So definitely let's start the whole conversation out. I just want to know Aranyaka behind the scene. Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Aranyaka is an artist manager working in the whole artist field and out. She runs a company of the wilderness and all. But Aranyaka was a engineering undergrad.
Yeah.
She started her career with Deloitte. Then why this whole creative field?
So I've been singing all my life. Like the first time I joined a choir was when I was in 3rd grade. Technically, the first time I composed a song was when I was 4. But I did the right thing. I did engineering. I worked at Deloitte. Deloitte was constantly putting me on healthcare projects because that's what the practice over here had most of. But I really wanted to be in the entertainment and media sector. And I was applying for grad school at that time. And when I started applying for grad school, I found out about this program at NYU called the Masters in Music Business program. And it was perfect because NYU was my dream school for an MBA. And then I realized that I could get best of both worlds. Like I could do the MBA and I could stay in music if I did this program. So I did. And I moved to music.
Okay. So music is something that you were very interested from the initial part of your life.
Yes.
Well, we have seen your music also. We liked it.
Thank you.
So now coming to the next part, you have worked with the multiple companies out there in your whole career. Okay.
Yeah.
One of your transition was coming from Gully Gang to starting your own company of the Wilderness. So how was the whole shift was there? Earlier you were managing artists under some other label, right?
Right.
Then you started your own consultancy company. So how the whole transition was for you, and like why you have done that? Like why you have
Right.
started off the Wilderness? What's the whole vision around it?
So actually, fun fact is that the inception of the Wilderness happened before Gully Gang. And the first artists that I worked with in India were Rahul and Bharg. And I'd come on to just plan the rollout and marketing for Sab Chahiye. And, you know, our deal was that if they like it, then I can manage them and help them grow other facets of their career. But all of that while, I was always working with another Indian company with them as my carve-out. After my stint at Gully Gang, I realized that there were certain things that I wanted to implement in a certain way, and I could only do that if I was running my own company. And that's what I did. I had enough resources by that point to start it up myself. And I had a roster that I was building out. I'd already started helping Raga on a couple of projects here and there by that point. So once I quit, I was like, we can formalize this arrangement as well. And Of the Wilderness was born.
Okay, so it was something like you were doing earlier. Okay.
Yeah.
And it was born automatically. Like
Yeah, it was like the right time, you know, after Gully Gang. And I was like,
what's the vision with of the Wilderness?
What's the vision?
Yeah.
So currently, Of the Wilderness is set up in 3 parts. One is a music publishing division, which is a back-end division. There is music business consulting, through which we either take up A&R projects for other organizations or we do strategy consulting or market entry consulting for other companies. And then the most famous one, which is front-facing, is obviously the talent management division. On the talent management, we've got Yungsta, Raga, Ro, Mr. DOS, Megan Cutty, who's a visual creative, and then Bay Speak, who's an audio engineer. So the idea was always to create a full suite music service agency, which we now are, because we can do the visuals for you. We've got an audio engineer, we've got a music producer, we've got a singer-songwriter, and we've got 2 rappers. You name it, we can create it at this point, right? The vision for the company was always that. The scalable vision for the company, I can come back to you in a little bit because it's under wraps and I don't want to reveal it yet.
So we want to listen that as soon as possible. Yes. Definitely. We will be shooting another podcast when you reveal that.
Done.
Cool. Okay. We have petted out the whole. One question that I asked with anybody, not on the podcast, but definitely, what's the vision of life? What's a particular, like, Aranyaka vision of life?
Oh, my vision of life is, it's really simple, man. I just want to chill. And everything in my life and all of these decisions that I've made to run my own business and everything is geared towards buying myself freedom, which I have. I'm running my own business. I can leave the country and work from Bangkok for a week if I want to, right? I have gotten myself to a point of financial freedom and freedom with time and freedom of mobility, which I don't think a lot of people have and cannot do if they're stuck in jobs.
Okay. Let's talk about artist management. Okay. Everybody knows the whole glamorous world of the artist. Okay. But there's so much of people who are behind them
Yeah.
and helping them scale. Okay. And nowadays, like a lot of people do not know what an artist manager do. And somebody gonna ask you like, what do you do? How do you explain?
Right. So it's really simple. I think I would call them the CEO of the artist business, which is that the artist has multiple facets to their career. You know, they've got the marketing aspect of their career, their own brand, they've obviously got the music. And you need to decide what is the best way to get their music to the right people, right? If you had a product, like a D2C product, say a shampoo, and you start a new shampoo, you would go to market and you would decide that this is what my shampoo stands for. These are the kind of people I'm reaching with this particular shampoo. Say I start one for curly hair specifically.
Okay.
Now, I need to then figure out what are the marketplaces I need to go to where people who are looking for curly haired products are coming in and buying it, right? What you're doing for your artist is similar to that. You are helping them craft their brand voice. You are helping them get in front of the right people at the right time. And you're essentially creating the strategy around their career and also executing it. As an artist grows, that role evolves. Initially, you're doing all the execution yourself. Then you start hiring and building a team around the artist to start executing those things with you. And that's how it works.
So if I explain it in more techie way, so artists are the product.
Yeah.
And artist manager are the CEOs of that product.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they take care of all of the things like how the product should go into the market. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
What does a day-to-day life look like of Aranyaka? So how she handles so much of work, so much of chaos and all.
That's a tough one because it's a very dynamic job role. There's a lot of work that you can control. So I set out blocks that here are the times that I'm going to be responding to incoming queries, and here are the times that I'm going to be doing things that I may not enjoy, but administrative things that need to be done. And then there's a block of time that I keep for executing the projects that we've got ongoing. That is an ideal world where I get to create these blocks. But my day-to-day actually doesn't look like that. My day-to-day can be pretty, I wouldn't say chaotic, but dynamic in me needing to shift time around because you're always working with so many other people, especially if you're working with multiple artists and multiple projects. Then I would say just the day-to-day just looks dynamic, and it involves talking to a lot of people, and then it involves carving some time out to be able to do administrative stuff as well.
Yeah, so it's been like most of the day like talking to the different peoples, different like production houses, different music houses, different clients for the
yeah. And sometimes when you've got creative ideas and you want to execute it, so then you reach out to people and then
what
make it
are
happen.
creative ideas like if you want to? Let's say if you are managing some.
I'm gonna give you a hypothetical, right? Say you've got an album coming out for an artist, and they decide that instead of doing a regular tour, they want to do listening sessions for only core fans in 5 different cities. Okay. Now, You could either try and book a venue and then do everything yourself. And by that, I mean bootstrap it completely. But it's not a model that's going to make you money then, right? So you want to strive to not spend money, and you want to then strive to get a creative solution where you get a partner on board who can comp off your costs, and it's a win-win situation for everybody involved, right? So what do I do at that point? I say reach out to a streetwear clothing brand who I know exists in 4 different cities. And then I reach out to them saying, hey, my artist wants to get affiliated by you. I don't need you to pay me anything right now. I just need you to provide me your space and help me with guest listing. And I will invite their super fans and give a fan experience in your store, right? Now, this is not necessarily something that the store is saying that I want to do with you, but it is beneficial for the store, it is beneficial for the brand, and it is beneficial for my artist in being able to get the music out there. So, you come up with creative solutions like this and get your artist brand built and get the music out there.
So there is so much of inside the whole artist management thing that cover under the whole curtains, right? People only think like these artist manager only top in the wall and book the client for these.
Yeah, that's a booking agent. That's a different job role.
Okay.
But in India, they tend to bleed into each other.
Okay.
Because historically the industry, I guess, wasn't that big, and there is a lot of skill set problem also right now. So people end up becoming booking agents along with managers most of the time.
Got it. Got it. So how do you find these artists? Like, do you PM them or do you search on like Instagram Reels or I mean, how do you get them?
I think all of the above, right? You say your artist works with another artist, you find out about them, you start checking out their content online, you listen to their music. If you like them, then you reach out, you talk to them, you like their mindset, then you're like, cool, I want to work with you. Or sometimes you just find someone on the internet and you're like, okay, you're doing really good stuff. I think you could do with infrastructural support in telling you how the business works, your creativity is on point. And then you reach out to them and make things happen. There's several ways you can do it.
Definitely. So I will tell you a one story. Okay. So everybody knows like Aranyaka manages Raga. Okay.
Right.
So it was in March this year only. I was invited to my college, MAIT Delhi. Okay. So Raga was also as a speaker came.
This for under 25, so
Yeah, it was under 25. So it was managed by our ED cell of college.
yeah.
So the event was of 2 days. Okay.
Right.
I was on the first day on entrepreneurship panel, and the next day Raga came. Okay. On my panel, the auditorium was only 1/4 filled it out with the people lazy, sleeping it out on their chairs.
Right.
And I came to the second section also when Raga came. The whole auditorium was filled it out.
Yeah.
The people were, cheering Raga, Raga, Raga. So what the whole like fame, the whole energy comes around these people? Like how the Indian rappers are getting so much of fame. If I talk about specifically Raga, what is the whole story?
I think the music's good. That's one.
Got it.
The second, most importantly, there's a world that you have around the artist, right? As I mentioned earlier, what does the artist stand for? In Raga's case, the good thing about the music is that he's not trying to be someone else. He's like coming and saying that I grew up here, this is my reality, and this is what I'm going to talk about. And we as a team around him are also always striving to put that foot forward authentically. No matter what space he accesses in his life, he's always carrying that part with him, and we don't want to dilute it, right? And I think authenticity always works with the audience. If they know that you are true to what you're standing for, you're always in it for the long haul, and you've got true fans then. They're not in it with you for one song, two song, and then they drop off, right? Then they get latched onto your entire catalog. If you look at his body of work, the lyricism is on point. He is very poetic. And a lot of that becomes a way for other people to channel their emotions as well. And that's how they connect with the artist, which is probably why, you see a lot of people rallying around him as well, and all of those fans, because they want to be a part of that journey. They want to be they want that journey themselves, right, in their own lives, which is if you want to achieve something and you do achieve it, right, and you do it positively, you're putting out that message that you can do it positively, and you don't have to necessarily change yourself or fall into a system to do it.
So I think I have noticed two things, observed two things. One is the energy these artists brings on the table.
Yeah.
Okay, it is pretty different from any other people. Okay, so that's the one thing that I really captured it out that makes them different. The second thing I have seen is their relatability that you have talked about. Like people can relate to them.
Yeah.
He's coming from that background, and people are also seeing them as a one of their leader. Like kind of,
Yeah.
we can also become like them. So I think these two factors, somebody wants to indulge in themselves, and that will get the fame around it.
Yeah.
So do you agree with that? Like with these points, with the I can say the energy and the pain.
Yeah, I feel like different artists will have different energy levels that they're bringing to the audience, but yes, the buy-in from the audience towards that energy is related to their authenticity and relatability.
Yeah. Now coming to the next part of the thing. So in the Raga case, before you were managing him,
Yeah,
he was managing himself by own. Okay.
and he had a manager before that as well.
Yeah. Any other people, right? And then you started managing
Yeah.
him. So what was the difference? Bring it out in his whole career that you took on the table. Also, what are the challenges he was facing earlier that you solved?
Okay. So in terms of the challenges that he was facing earlier, is that the previous collective was affiliated to one label, and a lot of the decision making that was happening for his music was done by that label. Right. And at that time, the industry was also at a stage where a lot of the decision making was concentrated with labels. By the time I started managing him, a lot of the industry had decentralized. There were many ways to put out your music. You weren't reliant on major labels to put out your music. And that way you are able to then lean into your own artistry and stay authentic to what you want to put out versus also have everyone else's opinion on what you want to put out. That was one aspect. The second is my approach to what we like to call packaging. So he would give us a song and we'd go out and find the right collaborators in terms of who's going to do the visuals, what will the design aesthetic be. And the difference was that these weren't solo decisions that I was making or the label was making. They always had his buy-in.
Okay.
Right? So he tells me that this is how he envisions a project. We give our ideas to it, and then we work as a team to execute it and find the right people. So the difference was that we were also giving creative input versus either road rolling over him or completely saying yes to just anything and not using our heads. It became a collaborative process, and that's where I think the big difference was before and now. And then, of course, you give someone a chance to be more creative when you offload a lot of admin work from them. So that's what we did. We came in and we did the basic job functions right. So he wasn't using his head in everything. And then he could use his head in, making the music. And that's where the energy was going there.
Yeah, I think that's the best part of the being having an artist manager, right? You can focus on your own best sword, right?
Yeah.
So rather than focusing on 100 different weapons in your pocket, you can just only focus on the best sword of place. So definitely now I want to little zoom out of this whole conversation and come out to the Indian hip hop culture.
Okay.
I have seen I'm coming from a Gen Z or millennial kind of middle generation. I have seen this whole Indian hip hop culture to be grown it out into the last 5 years a lot more.
Right. Yeah.
Earlier, okay, it was definitely like a lot of elder, I can say, these rappers and all were there, like Baba Cycle and all. But these young, I can say, rappers, they have got a lot of more boost in this whole economy.
Yeah.
So, what do you think? What happened in the last 5 years, and how do you see the next 5 years?
I was saying that, as I mentioned in my last answer, how things were decentralized. You've got YouTube now, you've got Spotify now. You can put your music out there yourself. As soon as you're putting your music out there yourself, and the consumer is able to choose what they want to listen to, automatically, a lot more things have an audience. Before this, you had to listen to what the label was putting out. It was the barrier to entry into the music scene was really high for these artists, right? Visibility was limited. After YouTube that changed completely. You can just upload a video, you can go viral, right? And I think that's where that's the root of the scene evolving. Now everyone is on the internet, everybody can seek out what they want to listen to. And that changes the rules of the game. Now, in the next 5 years, in the past 5 years, then you saw investment coming in. Because as soon as this became a viable career option for artists, as soon as artists were getting visibility and there was proof of concept that the audience is willing to listen to it, the audience now has money to spend on it. It may not be as high as the West, but there's still definitely money to be made now. You had people coming in, and then you had more artists growing. Because as soon as this becomes a viable option for you, only then will people start making more music, and the scene grows. That's one. In the next 5 years, I think we'll only see more innovative music coming out, and more exchange happening with other countries in Indian hip hop growing and Indian independent music growing as well. The models are changing in how labels are doing their deals, in how distributors are doing their deals. There is an aspect of the music industry called publishing that is also rapidly growing and changing in India finally. And as these avenues grow, the industry becomes a more viable place for artists to be in.
So you are saying the two differences that have seen is one is YouTube, the second is investment coming in the whole industry that led
Yeah,
to the
I think
to be
it's access, and so basically the internet
okay.
and then money coming in.
So if I say in the next 5 years, we can see the short videos, one of the booming thing. But if I
Short videos don't make sustainable careers
Right.
because, like, today you're relevant.
okay,
That makes artists content creators.
definitely.
What if your next song doesn't do as well? And we've seen that happen. It's very hard to make sure that 100% of the songs you're writing are going to be, on the top of your catalog.
So you are saying on short videos, artists cannot make loyal audience.
I think not even creators. Nobody. I'm not saying they cannot make loyal audiences, but that is not all that they have to rely on.
Okay.
Superfans are different. Most money artists make actually comes off of social media.
Okay.
It doesn't come on social media.
I got it. Definitely. So the second part, investment. Definitely, we have seen a lot of investment coming out in the whole music industry into the last 5 years.
Right.
The investment will be increasing into the next cycle. That's definitely a chance that we have. If I ask you, like, what is the whole role of an artist manager into the scaling this industry? Okay, because definitely YouTube is a part where I mean visibility is one of the part, investment is coming as a part, but the people who will be handling, I mean both of the pillars, what their roles, how they can be the part of like the increasing economy in the next 5 years.
I mean, if you as an artist manager make smart deals, if you pull more money, you can add more people to your team and make more money, right? It's as simple as that. You can only increase your cultural impact if you're pulling the right amount of funds and paying the right people then after that. And that's how you scale the scene. For example, when you've got companies like, Represent, Blueprint, Gully Gang, did they exist 6 years ago, 7 years ago? They didn't. They do now. So that's automatically like management. If the number of management agencies is increasing, they're all employing people. If they employ people, there's more opportunity in the industry automatically, right? It's just that. And that's how you end up growing the industry. If you create a sustainable business model, and today we as managements employ more people, you end up scaling the industry like that.
Got it. Just say I'm a 20-year-old. I just joined the college and I'm in the first year.
Yeah.
I have a lot of interest in the whole music industry. Okay, let's take. I'm a good rapper.
Okay.
That's the one scenario we are taking. We will be taking the another scenario also. So I'm.
So now we're talking about becoming an artist.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what should I do? How can I become a good artist?
Number one, like work on your craft, obviously, which is understand the tools that you need to work on your craft. Do you want to become a producer yourself? Do you want to work on YouTube beats? Do you want to collaborate with other producers? Decide that. You want to become a rapper, you keep writing. You want to become an artist, like a singer, you keep writing. You record your songs and you put them out there. You find your voice. While you're doing that on the creative aspect, as an artist, it is your responsibility to go and read up about the basics of the music industry. so that you can figure out if you ever want to go to a management or get your friend to manage you, what do they need to be taken care of. I think that's how I would start. And right now, all of this information is available on the internet. So,
Let's say if I want to become an artist manager.
right.
Okay. So there's a lot of artists which are not managed by a lot of managers, like, right? So, they are also growing it out and all. How I can become an artist manager? What should be my roadmap? What should be my step-by-step process for it?
Yeah. There are two ways to do it. Either join an agency, start looking for internships, and go that route where you join an existing agency, become a day-to-day manager, and then grow up the ranks.
But why would an agency would hire me? I do not have any.
Agencies are always looking for interns, right? You can start off with starting to do events in college, get exposure to how the industry is working in your controlled environment, and then start applying for internships and get into the system. You can also start volunteering for a lot of music festivals and stuff. They're always looking for on-ground staff, and you understand what the day-to-day management looks like backstage, right? Those are your initiation points. But if you want to make a career in it, you've either got an artist that you start managing and you get your foot in the door through that, or you join an agency, which is the tougher route, but you can always take it. The downside of becoming an artist manager directly is that you then don't always know if you're doing something right or not, because there's no one training you. You're constantly going to hit roadblocks and then you're going to figure it out. There's a lot of merit in that as well, but it's just up to you. It's about grit and perseverance at the end of the day after your knowledge base is sorted.
Okay.
So
If I conclude this, like, if you are starting by managing an artist,
yeah,
then your whole circle of the knowledge will become a little constructed, right? But if
Yeah.
you are joining any other agency and all, you can get a more exposure. So it's
yeah,
the way we can conclude it, or
yeah. I mean, you'll definitely get a better network easily.
that's
Right.
one of the most
Yeah, if you're starting off with an agency, if you're starting off on your own, then you're kind of limited by your artist as well, right? If your artist does not give you music, other people don't have a reason to necessarily talk to you at that point. Your interest is only going to get you through a few people. If you have to have a great product to take to people for them to accept you at that point, right? And that tends to happen. I'm not saying it's a necessity or there are no outliers. A lot of passionate people also manage to make breakthroughs and then build their careers, obviously. But the easier way is these two options that I gave you.
Okay, interesting. Let's say I'm an artist, okay? And I'm a growing artist. Like, I'm right now getting a little more visibility and all. Aranyaka, just tell us, like, one of the most underrated skill that artists should have in this era, in this type.
There's actually a lot of skills that artists should have. As I said, number one, understand the basics of the music industry yourself. Don't read other artists' tweets and then decide. And the second thing is being a little organized yourself is not against your artistry. Like, you gotta know what's happening around you, and you gotta build teams around you that you can trust, and not just have PAs. What a lot of artists think is that they have to make all of the decisions themselves, and they just need to get personal assistants around them, and that's how they treat a lot of managers in India. But I think artists need to move beyond that mindset and be in a collaborative process.
So, I mean, you wanna say, like, one of the key aspect that an artist should have to manage people's, right? Like, if they're working with someone, they should know how to work.
I mean, no, they don't need to know how to manage people. The manager needs to know how to manage people. Sure, it's a good skill to have to know how to manage people,
Okay.
right? Everybody should have certain communication skills sorted, obviously. But what I'm saying is that being aloof does not serve an artist well. You gotta know what's happening around you.
Okay.
So
Got it. Got it. So right now in the industry of hip hop, mostly in India, what do you see? Which are one of the biggest challenges right now? Still, there are a lot of challenges we can see. Um, if we compare it from the Western culture is way ahead from us. Okay, and Indian culture still, I don't think evolved so much. And I think there's a whole ecosystem problem out there, not on the surface level of the whole artist game, but on the management game also. Okay.
Right.
There's a lot of things that I can say artist managers should have to go. Okay. And
Yeah.
maybe if they're not working in India, they were working in Western, they shouldn't have gone through those problems out there. So what are the challenges that right now India has?
I think I've mentioned this before, but my biggest challenge in working in this ecosystem is that a lot of people who start working in this ecosystem do not go and train themselves on the rights and the law of what they're working with. If you don't know what you're going and signing off, you're always going to make a bad deal, right? If you don't know how something is monetized, you will always make a bad deal. And the same applies to all industries, right? If you don't understand your supply chain, if you don't understand the manufacturing process, if you don't understand the distribution process, you're never going to do it right. Even when you're like making a pastry, you got to understand how it's stocked in a store. You got to understand how to bring people through the door. And I'm not saying that you should have all your creative and strategic ideas 100% thorough, but you should have the basics of your industry right. I've now worked with so many artists, and so many artist managers who are cracking deals on their artists. They're fighting for, oh, I want master points, I want publishing points. But when you ask them, okay, what are you going to do with these points? Or if you're asking for a certain deal structure, how does this benefit your artist? There is no answer except मैंने पढ़ा था tweak में. Or I feel like this is what I'm entitled to, but I don't know what an accounting statement looks like. I don't know how royalty statements are going to be generated, you know. And it is the onus of the artist manager to go read on this stuff.
So now we are coming to the last part of the podcast, which is rapid fire. We will be asking you quick questions. So I will start with the one. One artist you would love to manage, but you haven't till now.
Okay. We can come back to this one because I'm managing the artists I want to manage.
Which is
Like,
who is that?
so I manage Raga, I manage Yungsta.
I want a single answer for that. Do you have?
No, what do you mean? I'm saying I manage the artists that I want to manage. Like, I don't have any goal of an artist right now.
Okay. Makes sense. My second question is, one of the rapper you think is very underrated.
I think there's a bunch of new kids that are coming up. Hardbone did a good job with his last project. Then you've got Shikriwal, who's been bubbling up. My entire Youngie and Raga have both, recommended him to me. So I know that a lot of people have eyes on him and I like his music.
One key advice you want to give to the young student who want to get into music.
Brush up on your skill first and don't be cloud chasers.
Okay.
The people will take you seriously if you take your music seriously.
My final question is, who is the chillest artist you have worked with? And I want a single answer for this. Chillest artist.
I think, again,
We want a single answer.
no, I'm telling you, the single answer is that I have 4 musicians on my roster, and all of them are very chill in just their respective fields, right? My top 2 will always, I can't have a top 2 because all 4 of them are in slightly different fields. Of course, Raga and Yungsta are not, but all of them are chill in the sense that I don't have anyone on my roster who's tantruming or being unreasonable.
But still, if I say like,
But what are you defining as chill?
I would love to hang out and I would love to.
I hang out with all of my artists.
But still,
I'm
like,
friends with all of them.
but still, like, if you have a multiple friend, but there's only one best friend out there, okay? So
No. My best friend is my best friend from undergrad. Like, she's a separate person. She's not my work friend. But I will say, like, honestly,
yeah,
I can hang out and have conversations with all 4 of them.
okay.
I cannot tell you that, oh, this is one, because I'm having different conversations with all 4 of them. All 4 of them are hanging out with each other. We've got Bass Peak and Katti who are not in music and they're 2 separate artists, and we hang out with them too. Like, if I was to throw an OTW party, there is not a single person that I'd be bored of at that party. There is not a single person that I'm calling them and thinking, oh my God, something's going to go wrong. It's not happening. And that is a concerted effort that we've made in curating the lineup. Even the people who we've hired and are working with us, there's not a single person that I can't sit and have a conversation with. Because if that was the case, they would not last on the roster and they would not last in the organization.
Good. I think we got the answers there.
What is your answer, according to you?
I mean, nobody cannot define like it's like having a 4 babies, right? You cannot choose only one. I mean, you are
Well-
managing 4 of them, and the 4
Well,
of
and
them-
I've got 6, 4 musicians and 2 non-musicians. But
Okay.
but yeah, I mean, I think I'm equally invested in their career, and I hang out with them. Like as I said, none of them. I'm not calling one of them up and saying, "Oh, we've got this transactional relationship, and now I can't come and hang out with you," right? So
if okay, we will be coming out of the. I'm just molding this question again.
yeah, okay, let's do it.
Which is a artist which gets so much of love from the audience. In I can say in more in a how I can define, like, people love that artist a little more.
I mean, right now it's obviously Raga who is the biggest, has the biggest audience of the lot.
Oh, interesting.
The girls love Ro a lot.
Oh,
But he is still growing. So if you ask me this question in 2 years, I'll be like, both of them have
That's right.
a great audience.
okay. I mean, Aranyaka, it's great to have you on the podcast. We have learned a lot about the artist industry. We have talked about how a artist manager feels like doing the behind the scenes work.
Yeah.
What it takes to become an artist, and let's say if somebody is a young entrepreneur, or let's say if they want to start their own artist management career, that how
Yep.
they can start it, how they can become an artist. So it's a very useful episode for young founders or young entrepreneurs, young artists, anybody. So thank you for coming on the
No,
podcast.
of course. Thanks for having me. It was great to be on.